Let's just YouTube. Okay, so last week we got to a point where we've got the droppers dynamically spawning from the player's save data, and we've got these buttons that currently do nothing. I was thinking for this week we'll do an AI episode. So I've got anti-gravity loaded here. Now, I've never used AI with this project so far. So the first thing I'm going to say to the AI is just take a look at the project and understand what's happening. So take a look at this project and create a small overview of what this is and what's happening. And the reason I'm saying this is I can see what the AI spits out, and I can then understand its understanding of the project. So it should just loop through all the files we've got here, and I just want to see how well it can piece together that logic. And then depending on how that works is how I will prompt it. So do I need to give it a bit more context when I prompt, or has it actually picked up a lot of context from the project itself? So you can see here it's just going through all these kinds of things. Thinks it's yeah, give me a little snippet there, so it knows it's a Tycoon game. I mean, the sort of name gives that away, really. Okay, so let's see what it says. So it's a Tycoon game built on a Jamango. Claiming plots, purchasing droppers to generate resources, and earning money. Yep, that all looks fine. Yep, player persistent. Data integrity, and we autosave, plot management. Defines a catalogue of droppers, yes. Framework for the buy buttons exists, but the logic is incomplete. Missing actual money deduction. Yeah. Buttons check for funds, do they? So I need to recap myself here, actually. So it should be in traits, buy button. On entity collision. Oh yeah. So we did actually get that far. So it has picked up a lot of context, which is good news for us. And if we have a look here, so from the project overview, can't type. We are on step number 4. We need to implement these things. The buy button price should increase 1.3 per button. So floor 1, slot 1 equals 1.3. Slot 2 equals 2, 1.3, etc. with a base buy price of 10. When we should calculate the button's price when we spawn the button. Display that price using the 3D text API. When a button is bought, when a dropper is bought using the button, remove the 3D text and roll for a dropper on the player as per. If we go to here, although we can leave that, yeah. Not as per. We'll say using roll dropper. Yep. Deduct the money if the player can buy. So let's see where it gets to with this. So we can kind of watch what it's doing just by clicking into the file, and when it starts to make its little adjustments, we'll start to see them in real time, which is pretty cool. So you can see it's just looking up some of the APIs that it's not sure of. There you go, it's found this spawn 3D text. So at the moment it's building a implementation plan. And that's finished. So we could just have a look through this and just sort of sense check it. So we're going to update the button trait schema to include a slot, text entity ID, that's a good idea, dropper ID, not sure why it's adding that. That's pretty, yeah, that's what I would have done. So it's going to need to import that, money deduction logic, visual update, it wants to change the color. Spawn the awarded dropper immediately. So it's actually probably got to create quite a bit of logic. So we'll see how it does with this. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. So let's just tell it to go ahead. So I'm just going to say proceed. And we can start to see how it's going to action this. Oh, it's deleted a lot of lines from here. What's it doing? Not sure why it's touching this. Just getting rid of that. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Chosen ID. Oh, it's just... Okay, so let's change some of that. Seems to have created an error here. Plot index, occupied, player index. Not sure why it's doing this. Oh, it's added a lot here. So, on our entity collision. Yeah, so it's just repeating some stuff. why it's running npm build. So we've still got an error here. Let's have a look at what's it done here. Spawn text 3D. It'll work this out. Yeah, so it's working on that. I haven't quite worked it out just yet. It's interesting to watch it sort of work and see how it goes. Plot trait. Yeah, see, I've misled it here. It should work out. So it's found this example. So that's interesting. So you can see literally all it's doing here is it knows this doesn't exist, so it's trying to stop the scrolling. It's doing a find string for spawn text 3D in the API documents. I've just lost that now. So I can accept all of these changes for now. And so we still got an error here. So I could just say there is still an error with the spawn text 3D in plot trait. Resolve this error. So what's it actually missing? So we got text, which is the price. It's wanting a number for the font size, which we don't currently have. It's trying to pass this as some sort of CSS. So yeah, that looks better. Okay. So that's all saved. I can go back to Jamango now. And we can see the text is offset a little bit, but that's fine. So if I just jump and the text is gone. Is that a bit wonky? That looks a bit wonky. 41. Perfect. Is it actually changing my money? So profile. I've got 1935. Yes, perfect. Sweet. And then if I save, come back in, and they're all there. So, what have we got wrong? We've got a little bit of an offset problem. So it's offset to the right. Could be a bit bigger. So, we don't need to use AI for that. So, we'll say 30. Is there an offset text position? So X, it's going to be this one. I can say -1. Just see how that looks. -1 might be too much. I might say 1.5. -0.5. Yeah, that looks more centered. Could make it a bit bigger. So 40. Yeah, that looks cool. Now I think, obviously, every player is going to see this, aren't they? What I'm just going to do, I haven't actually tested this. Just add a New window in here. Just want to see what happens when another player joins. So there is mine. You can see I need to space them out a bit better. So I can see his 3D text. I don't think there's a way to... Could do that on the client somehow. And then it would only spawn for that player. So we can look at that. I've got no money, so let's... Oh well, I can't because of the moderation. Okay, but at least we know that's working as well. And we're enforcing priority. Oh, it's offset back a little bit, isn't it? Interesting. So that's really cool. And let's just see what happens when I leave. If I go back to this game. Ooh, what's going on here? So that didn't spawn in the right place, did it? Now I wonder if that was. So let's just see. That's very interesting. The player sees it correctly. And that doesn't. Yeah, it's definitely physically there. It's not just a visual glitch because I'm being stopped. But evidently, it's on a different place on the client. So that leads me to believe that that's happening. The movement is happening on the client for some reason. So we can worry about that in a second. But also the other thing that's not happening is when the player leaves, it's not despawning their stuff. So we haven't implemented that yet. So what do we want to fix? First of all, we just want to bring you back probably half. See. Yep. Okay, that's perfect now. It still looks a bit off. Everything looks off. I don't know if it's just a perspective. That does look better in third person. Okay, what do we need to work on first? So let's just check. If we go to plot trait, spawn by buttons is being called by build plot, which is gated by the host. Ah, okay. That could be the source of our problems. So let's just try that out again. Let's see. So, oh, there's something weird going on there. That's interesting. Won't worry about that a second. But yeah, okay, so that's fixed it. So for some reason, the prediction on the first player wasn't updating correctly. I find it better to always say don't use prediction on set entity position. See, that looks fine to me. What's weird is that looks fine. That just looks horrific for some reason. We got any errors? Not seeing any errors. It's fine. We could just leave and just go back in. Just want to see what happens. I mean, it looks fine now. It must have just been some random little bug there. But okay, fine. So we fixed that bug. What do we want to do now? So if the drop is bought, then we don't need to display the price. Don't need to display the price, and we should turn the button green. So When we are spawning the buy buttons, if the dropper is already bought, we do not need to spawn the price text. Also, let's turn the button green by spawning a different prop. So I've got my thing here. Oh, that's going to be that. So if I grab the blueprint, chuck that in my toolbar. Why is that not working? Oh, I need to be on block. Pencil. That's very strange. Is that broke? That still works. Is that a prop? No, that's going to be a block group. Blueprint. I should be able to add you. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'll try and find it in here. So that's a prop. That's the block structure. And that's just errored out completely now. Is it? What is it doing? Interesting. There's a bug there. I can clip that. We could just recreate this prop. No problem. Oh, if I'm able to actually add a prop. Not a prop, a block. So we were using that one. Red tile. It's a green tile. Oh no. It's not working at all. Let me save. And leave. Just go back in. Might just be one of those random things. Cool. Then no. There is something definitely wrong. Okay. And again, am I getting any errors? Not seeing. Okay. Fine. So we won't worry about that at the moment. So if I come back to anti-gravity and just get rid of that. Let's also only display. Let me just double check. Environment both. Yeah. Display the price to the player that is the owner of that plot. We should do this by creating a command. Do I have command set up? Not yet. And using j.net.send. Because this only wants a position. And j.net.listen. Create a new file in the commands folder for this. Let's call the command client, yeah, can't spell, client spawn. Yeah, it's a command, so we'll keep it capitalized. Spawn 3D text 3D, and then we can define the command and listens there. This is imported into the server. Gate the commands by using j.net.isClient. So we'll see how it deals with this. So obviously it's got to first work out some logic before it does this and sort of say, I'm spawning this button. Does the player already have the dropper? So it's created a new little implementation. By button tray. Okay, that looks all fine. Just say proceed with that. Now we just need to remember, because it's creating a new file, it is going to give us this issue, but we can resolve that. So we'll wait for this to finish. This server. I'm pretty sure that's still in the documentation actually. Okay, let's have a look. No, so I want to say is client, because that should only run on the client. If not, okay, is host. So that's that one. There's something here. Player ID. So j.net send. Target should be at the end rather than there. Oh, nope. Yeah, there we go. So that looks fine. So we just need to save the world. Can't save the world. Got to come out of play mode. Save the world. If only that it was that easy to save the world. Okay, and then I can leave. Create. Edit. And when we come back in, that should be in its proper place. Oh wow, I don't know what's going on with my inventory here. Interesting. Got no text now, but we can take a look at that in a second. Right. So I should own. Oh, I bought them all. So that's why. So I do wipe. Don't need to save. Okay, there we go. We've lost that offset. and the font size, it's reset everything back. That's one thing that can happen with AI. So if we come back to where this is now, so the position's there. Font size we want 40, everything else is fine. Come back here. Text position is here. So 1.5 minus 0.5 and minus 0.5. Have another look. Okay, that looks better. And then if I join with my second player now, I don't see their prices. Brilliant. And hopefully they see their prices. Brilliant. If I try this one, goodbye, must buy, must buy. And not enough money. So money, 20. So buy that one. And let's just check. They see that as well. Perfect. But it's not removed the text. So if we come back and have a look at the buy button trait. Okay, so this is being called on this is being called on the server, and the server can't remove the entity that exists on the client, essentially because it has no idea about the actual and actually this is interesting. So when we generate, yeah, it's no longer tracked server side. So how would we handle this? As we're using so we're sending the floor and the slot and the plot ID for some reason. And how's this? It is creating a map. So there is. Okay, so it is doing what I thought it was doing, but we're not actually using that command. So make sure when we buy droppers, we are using the command properly. So it has actually set up the API. API, yeah. To do this properly, it just never actually implemented it in the buy button. So we should see this change now to a command. We should see a command get imported up here. Verified. Does it? I don't see it does. Just close that and reopen it. It's interesting, isn't it? Actually hasn't. Make these changes. So it knows what it needs to do, it just actually hasn't done it. There we go. I can help it just by getting rid of that. Okay. So let's try, let's just check if I've got any money. Have got money. And there we go. Perfect. But not enough for you. Okay. It's really interesting. He's not on the same level. No, they're not. Okay. So we've got this. Let me just make sure. Save. Perfect. We're actually making some nice progress. And so I guess when we buy that last dropper, we should get like a teleporter to take us to the next floor. So that's something we could work on next. Or we should start these actually producing money. Which may be a little bit tricky because I don't seem to be able to access the inventory right now. So we could save that for next time. But I'm pretty happy with that progress. And this does nothing for me. Perfect. Let me just check. Oh, that's something I could do. I've lost my mouse. There we are. Just check that. No. That's interesting. So are we not checking the player? So money 300. Aha. Okay. So there's two things we could fix here. The buy button should only work if the player whose plot it's on interacts with it. Collides. So other people can't buy droppers. So let's add that first, which should be a really simple. Yeah, there's a player ID there, so we just need to do a quick check. Does target ID equals player ID from the trait. So once we got this trait, I could have typed this actually faster than this is going to do. But there we go. That's what we need. Accept. And now if I come in, you don't own this plot. Perfect. So the next thing we should do is implement some cleanup logic. So let's tidy up players' plots when they leave. So I'm giving it a really vague action, and I just want to see what it does here. Because did we build this last time? We did, yeah. So, on player leave. Proceed. I'm just going to make 2 notes here. Player ID equals undefined. Save. Yes. Then proceed. So it's going to work through that now. See what is added here. So it's just updating this a little bit. I'm not sure why it does this. I mean, that's exactly the same as that. Okay, so it thinks it's done. So, good thing to do is always just verify everything's working as you expect. So I'll just come back here. No, I want to add some money. So yeah, that looks all okay. And if I come across here, I can't add money, but I can just leave and see all the plots is left. All the plots is left. The player's left and the plot is cleared is what I meant there. So perfect. I know that track spawn's working okay. We've cleaned up the plot. We've got some text. Still got this really weird inventory bug here. Be interesting to see. Let me just save the world. If there's something wrong with this world. And leave. And I'm just going to create a new world here. Any world. Just want to see if it is just this world or something weird is going on. So, can I drop you into that? No, it is everything, it seems. Yeah, okay. Fine. All right, well, that's it for this week. Apologies for the delay. Like I said, the dog was sick everywhere, so that needed a little bit of cleaning up. But I'll see you guys next week.